just went out, right? And I have a lot of people that are texting me like crazy saying, hey, what do I do? What do I do in this situation? I've just received this form, right? And like I say, Uber is scared. If you look at my last video, Uber and Lyft are scared, right? They're extremely scared to a point that they are requesting that you rally behind them, right? And help them influence this bill, help them get politicians to back their ideas, right? And I will tell you one thing, I am not filling out this form, right? Because what I have learned in the last 6 months, that my trust, my respect has evaporated. And now they're calling on you to have their back. They never had your back. They never had your back, right? I will not fill out that form so that they can use it against as ammunition against me. Not going to happen, right? And it's a completely wacky idea. Let me just read you what they say. And they're using fear mongering right now. They are trying to inject fear into the drivers so that they get back up. Let me tell you, they are truly showing their cards. They are afraid. Mark my words again. They are afraid. That's why they're pushing this out. They have pushed the drivers to the brink, and now they're asking for the drivers' support. I say no. I had to make this. I was done for the day, right? I was truly done for the day. And then I'm getting all these text messages and emails saying, what do I do? What do I do? I open up this form and I say, how dare you, after you've been so disrespectful, after you have cut our earnings, after you have pushed us into the corner, you're now asking for our support so that lawmakers will influence a bill that'll have more power over you, right? Right now, ladies and gentlemen, drivers, you have to leverage your power. You are now in the strongest position. You have stood up, you have spoken up, you have gone to the strikes, and you have pushed. These guys are on their knees right now begging for your support, right? And I'll tell you, if Derek Kay, John Zimmer, or Logan Green, I'm addressing you right now, the CEO of Uber and Lyft. You are sending this to your workforce that you have disrespected, that you have continuously slapped through the face, right? You've cut their earnings down to a point that you're giving them 40 and you're taking 60%, and you started off from you taking 25 and them 75, and you've switched it the other way, 60-40, and now you're begging for their support here. Does this language come across loud and clear? Here, right? My friends, I would not fill this form out, right? And I'm just saying, no matter where you stand on this issue, right? No matter where you stand, whether you want to be kept as an independent contractor, whether you want to be regarded as an employee, right? They are now doing the song and the dance with the politicians, trying to come up with a solution where your voice is muzzled, where you will never be able to unionize. And I'm not saying that unions are the way to go. I'm just saying that these politicians have to now listen to the drivers. If you are filling out this form, you are creating more ammunition. They can just turn that info over to the politicians and say, see, this is what they wanted. No, we have to be at the bargaining table. The drivers have to be at the bargaining table. Politicians and companies cannot hash this deal out without our without our participation, without us being present at the table. We need drivers present at this table, right? We don't have a union. We don't have a voice that protects us, right? So they're going to try and do a backroom deal behind our backs here with politicians and use this ammunition against us after they've already cut us. I say no. So what they're saying is that recent changes to California law could threaten your access to flexible work. Look at that as like, that is a threat. That's fear, right? That is using the psychology against you, right? Don't fall for the stupid trap that they are setting, right? Unless lawmakers take action now to modernize the law, you could lose your ability to work with multiple apps and control when and where you drive. That's fear mongering, right? So there are pros and cons for you remaining an independent contractor or becoming an employee. We have to figure out a deal that's the best for us, right? We cannot just waive our rights. And I agree. I mean, one of the conditions is that we should be able to operate on any platform that we want to. If we want to drive on Uber and Lyft, we should be in charge. We should not be dictated by the state. We should not be dictated by politicians. We should not be dictated by companies where and with whom we may drive, right? It's our car, it's our office, and we're conducting the work. We are making the money for these individual companies, right? And politicians, remember one thing, politicians are up for re-election, right? This Governor Newsom, he's up for re-election. The senators, whether on the Republican side of the aisle or the Democratic side of the aisle, they're up for re-election, right? So they have to listen to us. We have to be at that table with the politicians, with the companies, and come up with a deal that is a win-win situation for drivers and for the company. It doesn't mean the same old style will continue. You will remain an independent contractor, and you will only be paid the absolute minimum. That's when we lose, folks. And when you don't have a voice at the table, you lose. So this is our most powerful moment. And where does it derive from? It comes from the continuous media pressure. It comes from the continuous strikes. And for all those people say that all of those strikes where these people were present never worked, here we are. They are showing their fear. They are showing their weakest cards, and they're trying to use this against us. I would not sign this, right? I would say, hey, now's the time to bargain. Now take us a select group of maybe 20 drivers from different cities and sit down at the table and hash out a deal where both sides win, where the rideshare companies win, where the politicians are just the facilitators, not our decision makers, right? Not our decision makers, right? So I just pushed out a video. I wanted that video to go viral, but then boom, minutes later, this comes out and it feeds exactly into my past video. And we got to have an opinion here, and we got to stand up for ourselves. And I'm glad to see those icons there from Roy Watkiss. And I'm going to jump into Our House just now and read out the messages, right? I'm going to jump straight back in there and read out your message. I am not ignoring you, folks. I'm really not, right? It's just that the transparency of their little ways and means is so deceptive. And now they're coming and crying for our help. They say, we know that flexibility is important to you, right? They've never given us the flexibility when it comes to money. It's always been a one-way street, right? To feed their greed, to enrich these people and let us drive. Now we got to exercise our power. And please share this video, and share this video. That people that are about to fill this form just say, no, I'm not going to fill out this form right now. I want to be at the table. I want to be at the negotiating table. We need, I don't care, 20, 50, or 100 drivers from Tampa, from all of these people we need present at the table. We need to sit opposite these people and say, enough is enough. No more bullying, folks, right? So you got to speak up. I will not, you guys know me, I will not shut up, right? I didn't start this channel for nothing. I use this channel as a medium to express the voices of the drivers. And I hope and pray that every day that these Lyft executives listen in, that they come in and read the stuff. And there's one of the reasons we're going ahead with a new company. And that is one reason why next week there's going to be a massive social platform to bring all drivers under one umbrella, all drivers under one roof. This team, my team, has researched all rideshare companies worldwide, from Kareem in Dubai, from Hop, Skip, Drive, from Uber, Lyft, every single one of these taxi companies, rideshare companies, rental companies is in this new network, right? There's a garage for them where they can park their car and they can have a voice. So we can consolidate the voice under one roof. I have set up a category for the gig workers, for the Rideshare Unite. So all the people come together, right? Because we need collective bargaining power, right? Our voice now has to resonate. We started it with the strikes, and we are going to exponentially increase the sound level, right? Just like a sound system. We're on 5, 10, 15. We are going to crank up the volume. If anybody's ever been to an AC/DC concert, you will know how loud they play. That is how these guys are going to hear us, right? So it's now we stand, and we cannot weaken our position. The cards, they have showed their deck of cards, and their deck of cards are weak. This is a poker game that we are going to win, folks, right? So you got to back me up on this. And I know how the people are feeling, and I'm getting the people text and emails saying, we're not going to sign this. I would urge you not to sign this. And I'm going to read you. We know the flexibility is important to you, and we're working to protect it. They've never protected us. BS. I call BS. While also improving the driver's experience. You've never improved the driver's experience. You've given us 180 days of BS, and you've cut us. So how can you expect us, Uber? How can you expect us, Derek Kay? How can you expect us, John Zimmer? How can you expect us, Logan Green, to trust you, right? How can you expect us to respect you? We don't. We disrespect you. We've lost this respect. We've lost the trust because you've never listened to us, right? You pushed us into a corner. You've bullied us into submission. And now we talk up, folks. Now we increase the volume. Here they say, while we improving the driver experience, Uber and Lyft, gosh, they can talk, are coming together. Uber and Lyft are coming together. Listen to this. They're coming together because they're scared. They arch rivals out there. They're not coming together, right? Together to call on lawmakers to support a better path forward for rideshare drivers. You have never, ever created a better path forward for rideshare drivers. So how should we trust you now? Guys, once bitten, twice shy, my friends, right? Now they want our support. BS, my friends. Okay, so we're advocating for rules that would improve earnings, expand driver benefits, and create an association to represent drivers. Your voice is missing from this conversation, and lawmakers need to hear what is important to you. You know what? The only thing that Uber and Lyft have to hear what's important to us, the only thing that lawmakers have to hear what's important to us drivers is that we have been mistreated, that our voices have been silenced, that we've been muzzled, right? And now they want to hear our voice. At this point in the game, when they are cornered, when they're scared, it's like when that boxer's just about to be knocked out and lying on the canvas. He's pleading with the judge, please stop the fight, please ring the bell. I need time to breathe. I need time to recuperate so I can get back into the ring. This boxer, my friend, is going down, right? And when they're at their weakest point right now, which they've shown, we got to follow through. You got to deliver the knockout punch, right? Uppercut, right hook, a couple of jabs, send them to the canvas, right? This is the only language they will understand right now. And then they have the audacity to say, join the fight to protect drivers' flexibility and rideshare in California. They're calling on all the troops nationwide and internationally. They say, join the fight to protect drivers' flexibility and ride sharing in California. Tap below to make your voice heard. There's the form. Do I need to say more? Do I need to say more? Listen, just read what the people have to say in this room, right? Just read what these drivers are sharing, right? I don't think I'm making stuff up here. I can read. It's black on white. I read all the messages that flow from top to bottom, one after the other, right? You have requested that I'm a voice for you, and time again, I have spoken up. I've called these guys out by name, right? I'm doing it again in this live feed. Derek Kay, John Zimmer, Logan Green. Bring these people to your head office. Bring these people to the table and negotiate a deal that's a win-win. Don't use deceptive tactics where you're trying to get the interest of the driver by conning them through a form that you then hand into the politician and say, see, this is what the driver wants. And then let the politician and the companies hash out your future, right? They were not shy. I ask you to go back. I ask you to go back 100 trips. I ask you to go back 200 trips. I ask you to go back 500 trips. I ask you to go back 1,000 trips. I ask you to go back 5,000 trips. Where did you start off from, folks? You started off from a 75-25 fair scenario, right? Fair scenario, right? The problem is that Uber and Lyft had so many legal skeletons in their closet that they had to pay, and the investors had to pay, and they had to pay another 100 million, now another 170 million, and we had to bail them out, The drivers had to bail them out, and our rates got cut, to the point where they were completely ignoring your voice, my voice, right? We had no voice. And now they have the effing audacity to say, join the fight to protect drivers' flexibility and ride sharing in California, well knowing that whatever happens in California will impact the entire nation. Now we have to act from a point of power, right? In business, you know now that you can negotiate this agreement, right? And we've got them there. How did we get them there? Is through striking, through media, influencing the public. Remember, initial public offering, connecting with the public, connecting with the reporters, connecting with the TV station, connecting with the Chicago Tribune, connecting with the Washington Post, connecting with the Herald, connecting with international newspapers, connecting with the Los Angeles Times, connecting with a Spanish newspaper called La Opinion. We made our voices heard, right? And now we have to use that as collective bargaining power. Sit down with us and hash out a deal. You know, you're not going to hold these guys ransom and say, hey, this is what you got to sign. No, that's not our attitude. The attitude is sit down with us and treat these people fairly, right? Treat these people fairly, right? Because people are walking out. And that is why next week, the timing could not be better. We're rolling out this platform on street level. Everybody's on board. Discussion rooms. I will send letters, registered posts to these CEOs, to the legal team, and whether they read it or not, they're invited into these forums for change, for positive change. But what has been happening right now will not fly, right? I personally, and the drivers that I work with, and I will not stand for it. And I read what it says there. And AMC Creators says political BS. It is political BS, right? And it truly doesn't matter on what side you stand, right? Whether you are a Democrat or a Republican. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is that the way you've been treated, the way I've been treated, has to end. And we're in a very, very powerful position. So by signing this form, you're signing your earnings away. You're giving the companies, Uber and Lyft, because they're doing a collaboration here for the first time, arch enemies doing a collaboration. Bingo, red flag, scared, afraid, right? You're now going to give them the ammunition that they can hand into the politicians, and the politicians say, yeah, this is what the drivers want. They have never, ever had your back. Dara K, you have never had our back. You've had your bank account as the number one reason. Logan Green, you've never had our back. John Zimmer, you've never had our back. And now you're crying like little children, pleading with us, please, please save us. Folks, in LA, in San Diego, in San Francisco, in Inland Empire, in Palm Springs, in Monterey, in San Luis Obispo. I could rattle off 200 California cities where I've been up and down the coast, right? We have 140,000 Uber drivers, and we have 80,000 Lyft drivers. We have 220,000 drivers in the state, right? The calculations, and this has been made known in the public, is that this model, switching on them, would cost them additional $500 million a year. And I am not saying that the route employee is the way to go. And I'm not saying that to be stuck as an independent contractor being paid pennies on the dollar is the way to go. You have to find a middle ground. You have to come with collective bargaining power, all drivers, right? Because the California brothers and sisters need to stand up for the Florida brothers and sisters, need to stand up for the Texas brothers and sisters, need to step up for the Colorado brothers and sisters, need to step up for the West Virginia brothers and sisters, need to step up for the Dakotas, the Carolinas. This is it, my friend. This is the moment to shine, right? To come together, to say, hey, Uber and Lyft, bring us to the table. Work out a deal where we get some benefits, where we have rights, right? And it doesn't mean you have to make a hardcore choice, one or the other. No, we have to say we have to have the freedom to go and drive with whoever we want to. If we want to be with Uber and Lyft and another company, so shall it be, right? We have to go in there and fight for our earnings, right? Because you guys have rent to pay, you have school fees to pay, you got to put food on the table, correct, right? And you cannot do it with this Trump change, excuse the pun, right? But you cannot do it with minimal pennies in your pocket, right? And now they're coming back. Please, please, we need you. We need you. Where were you when we needed you? Where were you, John Zimmer, when we needed you? Where were you, Logan Green, where we needed you? Where were you, Derek Hay, when we needed you? You walked. You were drinking champagne. You were eating caviar. You were wining and dining in the finest restaurants. You were driving your Bentley through the streets. You didn't care a continental F, my friends, what's going on in here. All right? You didn't care a continental F what's going on in our house. You never came down to the street level. You never came to talk with us. You made one little video and you screwed up your first trip. You never got into the car and attempted to learn our business and put in 100 trips. You never did it. You never took our challenge. So if you did not hear our voice and you had no interest in our participation, you had no interest in what we had to say, why are you coming to us now? My friends, you are in the most powerful position you've ever been, right? I know you like this job. I know you enjoy driving people around. I know that it's a cool thing making friends, and it's a fun job. And the hours are fun, and the flexibility is fun. What is not fun is the money that's ending up in your pockets, right? And I hear you loud and clear over and over again. Message Dustin is driving. Welcome. Join the session here, Dustin. Make a video tonight, Dustin, and get the word out that the people, if you read the psychology in the letter, this was constructed by Uber attorneys and legal attorneys. Mark my words. Very, very well crafted, playing on your fears. That's what people do. That's how politicians get you to act. They act on your fears, right? This form has so much psychology in it. I want you to read it 3 or 4 times. The fine print in this document is very important, right? And before you rush off and put your name there and sign your rights away and sign your earnings away, that they can use this as ammunition against you, I would say, take a step back. Don't fill out this form, right? Request a position at the bargaining table, right? So exactly what they don't want. They don't want a union, because when people unionize and use their voice and negotiate higher rates, this is exactly what they don't want, right? Listen, they've never shown a profit. They've never paid a cent in taxes anywhere in the world, right? And now they're too afraid to pay California maybe $500 million per year, just in California, based on 220,000 drivers. Do the math when you start adding up 50 states, right? This is what they're afraid of. And we don't want to come, we're not drivers that come with an attitude to say, okay, we got you, right? And we're going to force you into a situation right now. No, we decent people. We're going to come to the table and we're going to negotiate what works best for us, for our families, right? So that you can pay that education, so you could put your daughter through college, so you could put food on the table, so that you can pay your rent or your mortgage at the end of the month, so that you can make your car payment and continue in the X, XL, SUV, or black categories, right? You have to leverage this moment in time and say, silence is golden. I will not fill out that form, right? I will request that the politicians in this state, because it's a trigger effect, this AB5 bill introduced in California is heard in August. They will vote on this in August. And between now and August, the next 3 months, these guys, Logan, John Zimmer, and Dara, will rally and try and rally you, and will try and lobby Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, what's that other congressman that's also running for higher office? They will try and rally these people and say, you know what? No unions, no employee status. And I'm not saying that employee status, again, is the way to go. I'm not saying that independent contractor with these type of split, 60 them, 40 us, is the way to go. No. What I say is come to the table, break some bread, and start talking. Open up a dialogue, right, between your executives, your boardroom, your investors, and your labor force. You have 3 million rideshare drivers worldwide. Do you understand the power that you have as 3 million drivers? And now I want to jump in the room. So let me see. Rideshare Lisa says, I told a rider tonight, if we didn't love doing this Uber and Lyft, wouldn't have any drivers because the drivers who did it for the money are already gone. Now, that is a very powerful statement. I appreciate you sharing that with us, Lisa. Bart Lawhorn says, the 3,000 club with a 4.98 and will not sign. July the 4th weekend, we should not drive. Okay, you see, so this, again, just listen to what Bart said there for a weekend. Keep the strikes going. It's obviously working, right? And I like that. I would hope that gig workers and Rideshare Unite say, okay, we come into this room, we read Bart's message. 4th of July is another great target. Let's rally around the 4th. Guys, you've already made such an impact, right? And those people that got in the car on those striking days, I just hope you got into the car because you truly, truly needed the money and that you needed to put food on the table, right? I hope you didn't do it to diss your other brothers and sisters who were at these strikes fighting for you, right? Because we got them here, right? They are scared. I can tell you when it comes to business tactics, business negotiations, they're scared right now. When have Uber and Lyft ever collaborated, got a legal document drawn up and have not pleaded, they're showing you they are begging, they're on their knees asking for your power, for your vote, for your signature, right? Thank you very much for the donation, Kyle Lindgren. He says, I'm having to take Uber to small claims court for the damage done to my car since they only offered to sell me the insurance. Very good point. Now that small claims court is going to cost him $40 and it's going to force them into arbitration. It's going to force them to listen before a mediator. You've basically signed your rights away in the terms and agreements that you may not go before a judge and sue them, but he has done the smart thing to force a decision on this, and he will win, hands down, right? So good for you standing up for yourself, Kyle, and thank you for your contribution. Right. So Love and Light says July the 4th, don't drive, and I hope that these organizations are listening. But the headline, the audacity to say, tell lawmakers to protect driver flexibility. They have never, ever protected driver flexibility. They have never, ever protected your earnings. And why do they now deserve your vote, your signature? They don't, right? So be smart, Derek Kay. Be smart, Logan Green. Be smart, John Zimmer, and approach this in a different way. Drivers are not stupid. Drivers see through this. The way to do it is to say, hey, We want 100 drivers at the table. Bring in a couple of politicians, bring in the executive team, make it a big open room, and then allow speakers to go forward to the podium, and then people will speak on behalf of the drivers, and get the media into that room and broadcast that live for 2-3 hours and hash out a deal. So it's a win-win situation. No backroom deals. No backroom deals, folks. Okay. So Papichulo says to protect and not to compromise it actually. Very well said. Conrad says definitely needs to be changed. T Gifted says, hello all, I'm new to the chat, but have been watching since the strike. Just got. Tony Slaughter says, we need to write up our own contract and send it to them on the 4th of July. I love that, Tony. Great thinking. Bart Lawhorn, I appreciate your $10 contribution. He says, work to make the money so you cannot drive. July the 4th weekend, please take a stand, stay home, stay for pay. Powerful, powerful words, Bart. Stay for pay, right? You've got them, guys. You've got them where you need them. I have never seen CEOs, I've never seen companies beg like this. They're scared, right? And you deserve this moment. I deserve this moment. I've just been pushing for this for 2 years now in my videos. So I'm very, very passionate about this moment. I am. Because you have shown me your weakest cards, Derek. You've shown me your weakest card. And I couldn't care if I get deactivated. People know that. I have a voice way more powerful than that, and a new company in the making, right? Where we're all going to participate. And if they need to be left in the dark, if they don't get it, if they haven't woken up and had their coffee, they will never get it, right? So your moment of truth, your moment to shine is now, Uber and Lyft. Get a full room of drivers, get your investors in, get the media in, get the company in, get the boardroom in, and hash it out, right? Right? We know now that there is bargaining power. So Yassine says, united, we stand strong. Yassine Turkan, I appreciate you, my friend. You're always there in the rooms. I always see your face. And there's a lot of other cool brothers and sisters that I see. I see Oswaldo from Orange County. He's in. Stay for Pay Up. Rideshare Rush. I like that name. Great branding there. Great logo you have. Royal Graphics. Another strike protest should be organized immediately. Within the next day would be awesome. Hit them now. Okay? You know, I shared that little David and Goliath story with you. And what happened to that little guy battling that big giant? That's where you are right now. There's a bunch of Davids out here, and Goliath is down on their hands and knees begging, right? That's how much power you have. 3 million drivers worldwide, whether you're in Africa, whether you are in Europe, whether you are in the Middle East, whether you're in the Asia, South Asia, or East Asia, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Latin America. You've exercised your power and you got them exactly there where you want them now. Now you cannot go weak, right? So nobody drives for Trump change anymore, my friends. Nobody, right? So write the letters, send the letters to the head office. You can Google it, right? They're in San Francisco and out there in Palo Alto. Send your letters, send them registered post. It's only going to cost you $2.85. Make it a handwritten letter. And say, you know what, invite us to the table, right? And we have a revolving door. We have an open door in our house. We invite these people into these rooms. Remember what I always said, when they do live feeds, they cut your comments off. They don't allow you to comment. Isn't that interesting? They muzzle you. And now they want you to speak up, right? So the attitude has got to be open dialogue. We can't live in this gray zone between rain and clouds. Sunshine's got to come out, blue skies, my friend. And now is the time to shine, right? So get them all in one room and hash out a deal. And Governor Newsom, I think you're a great guy, but don't sell out to the corporates, right? You have a lot of people there that'll potentially vote you in for a second term, Remember, 140,000 Uber drivers, 80,000 Lyft drivers, 220,000 drivers. Add their spouses, husbands, and wives, add their family, and you suddenly have 500,000 people, 500,000 people with a vote that could vote you out or vote you in. Same goes for Kamala Harris. Same goes for every Democratic and Republican senator out there. We can vote you out, right? We've already shown that when these people stand up worldwide and strike, they have a voice. Just listen to this. Alex Sarkis, thank you. I appreciate you, my friend. That's great. Abstract Echo in the house. I love to see your face. You're back in there. Tito Lugo. How do you start a strike? Tito Lugo is how do you start a strike? Good question. The way you start a strike is you actually find out what organizations represent you. There's gig workers and rideshare. They've done a phenomenal job. They're small little islands, but they're growing. You know, you can start a strike by getting into these rooms, using social media and expressing yourself. And if you express yourself and you find like-minded people that think the same way that you do, that are sick and tired of the bullying, right, they will stand up. And that's when you go out and use a location, either an Uber hub or any type of national monument or, you know, the airports, and you rally 300 or 400 people. And before you do that, a week before you organize that strike, you send out a list to all the press editors and reporters and photographers, and you invite them down to that location. We are striking because ... And when they show up and your voice is resonated through the media and the pictures start showing up, didn't you see that what we organized in one day in LA? In one strike, how far it went? It went in every newspaper, from Berlin, Germany, from Birmingham, UK, from Tokyo, Japan, from Toronto, Canada, down to Los Angeles, California. Every single person reported on it. And you're trying to tell me you don't have collective bargaining power? Please do me a favor. Use the moment, seize the moment, my friends. This form, you're walking into a trap. That's just my opinion, right? You're walking into a trap. And read this 3 or 4 times and let it sink in. What have these guys done for you? How have they rewarded you? How have they treated you? And do they deserve your support now? I don't want to go too long. Evenings here, I'm hungry. But the people in this room, just the most amazing messages. The platinum rideshare driver says, thanks for all you do. I reciprocate and say, thank you for all being part of this room. I really do, right? Mario, I appreciate that donation, the $2. Go Torsten, go Mario, right? This is the sign here, my friends. United together you stand. So proud of you, proud of everything you've achieved, proud of being a voice for you, proud of being your channel, your house, and giving your voices a voice, and keep it coming. Write those letters. Craigslist, you said, Torsten, you rock. You rock, Craig. I'm going to reciprocate you. So showing the love back. Beth from Chicago. I'm going to leave. Let's give the house 50 thumbs up. Let's see 50 thumbs up, folks. I'm going to take a picture. That's the frequency we're going to set for the rest of the week. There we go. Here they come. Here they come. Nathaniel Davies, I appreciate you saying that. I'm going to send a letter. You guys send a letter. Come on, man. A handwritten letter to the CEO of Lyft and say, hey, how do you expect us to sign this? Just do the very basics. We are interested in a win-win. We're not going to hold this company ransom, folks. No, that's not who we are. We have integrity. We have style. We are all goats. We're all the greatest of all time drivers, right? We will not be put into a platinum division or a gold division or a diamond division as they were. This is not the Olympic Games of rideshare here. We're all the greatest of all time. We're all pros. Geez, guys, look at this. Look at how many. I'm going to take a picture of this. This is insane. Just look at this. I'm going to mirror that right back to you. Look at that. That's us, right? So act in that same fashion towards them. Keep it positive. Keep it real. We don't have to put them down, but now we force them to the table, and I love it. So Bart Lawhorn has put his phone number out there. He obviously wants you to call him. Everybody call him, 502 number. Kyle, again, coming through with another $2. Ever thought of adding surveys to your app? Kyle, I will answer your question right now. The platform I am announcing next week, right? The platform, it's designed for every driver on the street. A little spoiler alert, it has the word street in it. The .com has the word street in it, right? We will announce that. That is the platform where you can join all these networks, all these organizations, all these discussion rooms, all the rideshare companies. I have created pages for all the taxi companies, right? For all the shuttle companies, for all the limo companies worldwide. That's how we've been working around the clock. Brian Olsen and his team are going to deliver a spectacular platform for you. You have spoken. And that's where we go in. You go and register under that umbrella, under that roof, right, so that you have more collective bargaining power. You invite in your brothers and sisters, you share it, so we can start this movement. You've already started it, right? But we need to consolidate, right? We cannot be create all these little lonely islands. We have to literally create our own country here. And you come in, you register, and you participate, you get into these rooms, and you join these networks, you join these discussions. And I have set up on that GOAT platform, remember that we said Brian Olsen came up with that? We created the GOAT platform for you where all the ride-share drivers can come in. We have set up polls for you. We have set up questions for you. We have set up pages where you can make suggestions for a new company, where you can make suggestions to existing CEOs, right? And let me tell you something, they will have their managers and have their branches that will look into that, and they will find that website because it's going to be very loud. And again, another $2 donation from Kyle. You're on fire, buddy. You laying it out there. Looking forward to the launch, man. Appreciate it. I like your shades. Are those Oakleys? Those look good. Okay, I got to get out here. Thank you. That's all I can say. I think it was a productive session. I'm just judging by the comments. I'm judging by, it says, the Hatekeeper says the professor means business. Damn right. Today we mean business, right? And we got him. I can tell you something, we got him. So share this video. Abstract Echo says share this video. Share it. Tweet it. Instagram it. Facebook it. By all means, film it and put it back onto YouTube. Use it for your own channel. And again, if you have made a video and you are opening up your own social media, come into this room and say, hey, I have an announcement. I'd like to launch my first video. Can I do it here? And then we'll show your link, and then we'll drive the other people there, and they will all subscribe to your new page or your new Facebook, so that collectively you can form all these synergies and networks, and collectively you're strong. Alabama, shout out to you. Can I have a just quick Robert Hunica? There we go. We will not sign. No. Why should you sign? They've never done anything for you. Platinum Rideshare Driver, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate you. Can I have a little shout out where we are from? What city we're driving in? OKC, Oklahoma City. Shout out to the OKC. Mario Gerussi, sounds Italian. Where are you from, buddy? Tell us, Speed Racer. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for being part of this conversation, my friends. Compton in the house. Koreatown in the house. Rideshare 411, good to see you. La Mirada, California. Tampa, Florida. San Diego, Mobile, Alabama. Charlotte, North Carolina. Wow. We have Chicago's in the house. Greensboro, North Carolina's in the house. San Antonio, Texas in the house. Woo! On fire, my friends. Everyone's showing up. El Monte, Yolo County, Cleveland, Ohio, Melbourne, Australia in the house. Shout out to our Aussie friends over there. Send love, guys, send love to Australia. Thankole. Compton, Atlanta, Connecticut, Brazil, Brasileiro, Dani Santa, where in Brazil? Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, where are you, my friend? Cocoa Beach, Florida, Santa Barbara, California, Another $2 from Kyle. Man, you're raising the stakes, my friend. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thank you. Sanford, Florida. Simi Valley. Speed Racer. Thank you for sending love to Australia. I saw the hearts. Vegas in the house. Roy Watkus. Orange County, Irvine. Very cool. Very, very cool. Love you all. I got to go. And that was good. That was productive. And it's all about timing. You know, before too many people sign this, you've got to squeeze in that quick live feed. I know it was very spontaneous, right? But you all showed up to the party. And we had a good session here. Felix Diaz, Phoenix in the house. Shout out to Phoenix. Abstract Echo says, go Kyle, you the man. Very nice of you. Salvador Lopez, Linwood, California in the house. Guys know the song? Let's sing it together. Our house in the middle of the street. Our house was a castle and a treat. Our house, that is where we used to meet. Peace out, my friends. Love you all. Until next time.